I'm Sal Henley from the Golden Bus Tour from last year, which was great fun and it was so fab to meet you all. You're probably doing lots of virtual groups at the moment and I hope they're helping, but we thought we'd bring you some little videos to give you inspiration for those barbecue salads. I mean, I've even dressed in green for it, whoopie woo. So we're going to do a coleslaw and a sort of Oriental green vegetable salad. Bit different from your tomato, lettuce and cucumber that you all might be used to. So let's get going and I'm just going to nip off and get some broccoli and cabbage and I'll be back. Turns out I don't have a cabbage at all. I have a courgette. I got that slightly wrong, but that's fine. If you did have a cabbage, you could shred that up and put that in as well. It worked really well. I've got in here already some broccoli that we had from the night before. I don't know why we've got a portion left. Somebody should have just eaten that. And then we've got fresh broccoli and some French beans, sugar snaps and a bunch of rocket. Now all of these vegetables I've actually cooked already, so that's just blanching. All you need to do is pop them into some boiling water in a saucepan, bring it back to the boil, I don't know, 2-3 minutes depending on the hardness of the vegetable, cook it until it's tender, drain, and then you run it under cold water until it's cold, and then you get really nice green veg still. Just a little note on broccoli. If you peel the stalk, that is really delicious. Don't throw that away. That's probably about 2 servings right there. And what I did is I just cut them into sort of finger lengths there and put them in. So that's that. And then I had some noodles left over from last night. I just chopped those with a pair of scissors. This is my scissor action. And I put those in. I'm not going to put all of them in, just a few. Somebody else can have those for lunch. And then a courgette. Now, I don't know if everyone's got a speed peeler or a swivel peeler, depends on what you want to call it. So it's got this sort of blade here that moves around. A lot of people just peel like that and they go like that. But actually with a swivel peeler, it goes in both directions, you see? Woo! Are you excited by that, team?
Yeah!
I mean, that was probably the biggest hit, along with chopping a pepper on the Golden Bus Tour. I don't know why, but it was. A consultant friend of mine, she uses that to do cheese when she wants to have a bit of a healthy extra. So what you do is you go down to the seeds and then don't waste that. Chop that up and you can put that into a stir fry if you wanted to. But the reason I do that is a lot of people don't eat courgette raw, and actually it's delicious. So you could grate it if you wanted to, or just put it in as ribbons like I've done. So already we've got the start of a really good base. I'll give Soph a little tight in there. And then we've got some radishes. I've got radishes because it just adds a pop of colour, otherwise it's just going to be all green. But you know, even if you've got some oranges, you could slice those segments up and put those in. And a little bit of red onion, but if you've got spring onion, works just as well, white onion. And then we're going to make a dressing. So now it's going to be the dressing and a jam jar. I always use a jam jar for dressings, especially if I'm using a bit of mustard powder, and because it shakes everything together and emulsifies the dressing, so it really helps. This is going to be an Oriental one. Now if you didn't want to use all soy sauce, this is reduced salt soy sauce, you could use fish sauce, because you're probably wondering, what do you do with that fish sauce that's in your store cupboard? Well, this is a perfect one to do. So instead of 3 tablespoons of reduced salt soy sauce, which I'm doing, just use 2 and then add in 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. And that really ramps up what we call the savoury umami flavour. Then ginger. Now I couldn't get root ginger, I was trying to, but root ginger worked really well. I'm going to add, I like it a bit spicy, so I'm going to add in ½ teaspoon of dried ginger, okay, powdered ginger. Then lemon zest. I think that will add it. Now if you're bothered about, you know, whether it's waxed or unwaxed, all you need to do is get a scourer that you sort of devote to cleaning up mushrooms or your lemon citrus fruits, and you just run the scour over it and then rinse it, and that will take the wax off it. So I put the zest of 1 lemon in there, and I think I've just got an orange kicking around, so I thought I'd add in maybe the zest of ½ an orange. And then the juice. Now it depends on how juicy your lemon is. You'll notice that I'm just rolling that around on the board. That's going to break up the cells and you'll get more juice out of it. Equally, if you have a microwave, just pop it in there and that will really help. And again, the trick of just using your hands and remove the pips, you see, quick and easy. And then I'm all about shortcuts in the kitchen, and this is just definitely one of them. Then I feel like I'm just going to put a little bit of that orange juice in there for a bit of natural sweetness as well. And again, have you got clementine, a satsuma around the house? There we go, I think that'll do. And then we're just going to give that a good shake. Okay, and then that's kind of what it looks like. I'll just give Soph a little glimpse. You can't really see a lot, it's quite black. And then we're just going to tidy this all away. Don't forget to season your salad, okay? It's quite important. I think people think about salad as something that you don't add salt and pepper to. It doesn't really need salt because you've got soy sauce, but it will need some pepper. And I just tend to throw that on top. Okay, and then here's the dressing, and I'm just going to dress all of that like that. Now, you'll see that I've got an array of really pretty colours and everything in there because you eat with your eyes. So if things are cut in a different way, for example, like I was talking about the courgette, rather than grated or sliced, it tastes different, it really does. Then get some comedy salad servers. These are the only ones we've got. I don't know who they're made for, some giant. Anyway, they're quite funny. And we're just going to toss that around, and then that will be the first salad that we're doing. We'll try and make it look pretty. I mean, you wouldn't know my job as actually a food stylist, would you? Right, I will sort that out. There we go. If you wanted to, mix it in a bowl and then put it in a serving platter, but I'm just saving on the washing up. So it will look something like that, but we'll make it look a little pretty later. We're going to reset. We're going to tidy up, and we're going to do a coleslaw. So we've got coleslaw going on now. How excited are you? When you buy those coleslaws in the supermarkets, they are full of mayonnaise, which are delicious. But can we make an alternative, a lovely free food one? Yeah, we can. So I'll show you how to do it. It's really easy. We've got grated carrot, a bit of white cabbage that I've chopped up. If you've got spring cabbage, anything like that, that would be fine, or even kale. Spring onions, great, but if you haven't got that, red onion, white onion. I'm going to show you, this is a bit of red cabbage. I love red cabbage in it, it gives it a bit of colour. This is a quarter of a small one. Just take that core out, because a lot of people just sort of put that in and it's not very appetising. Then just cut it into thirds, like that, and then just go across. Alternatively, if you've got a food processor, you could just pulse it in that if you wanted to. And then I'm just going to sort of fine shred on that. So that's great. So we'll put that in a minute. Just move that out of the way. So that's good, nice bit of colour. Then my little trick to get this coleslaw tasting great, Granny Smith apple. It's the one that's got a lot of acidity to it, which is great. And rather than cut it all up and core it, what you do is you just grate down one side up to the core, then rotate it, quarter of a turn, down to there, then again. And you don't have any waste then if you do that. When I cut up an apple, I like to just trim it off around the core. So you end up with like a square core like you've essentially done there. The pieces look a bit odd, but you're eating it, doesn't matter. So that's the waste, not much of it. Then just use that to pick it up. Oh, goes flying. I'm a bit of a messy cook, but hey ho, there's worse things in life. So we'll just get the rest of that out there. So that's all the ingredients, and that really is going to add a nice lot of zing. So then, dressing. What are we going to do for that? I like mine a little bit fiery, so I'm going to go into the store cupboard, and as you know, this is a store cupboard staple. This is mustard powder. I'm just going to put a teaspoon in there, like so. And then you can't just mix that with yogurt. It will sort of speckle through and not dissolve. So you want to take some white wine vinegar. Red wine vinegar would be great as well, but just don't use brown malt vinegar. Not a big fan, unless you're doing cucumber. I love pickling vegetables, and if you just use that with a little bit of salt in there to pickle a bit of cucumber or radish, and then put it into a salad, it's delicious. You can do that with any vinegar, by the way. So, can you see that? It's sort of now dissolved into the vinegar, so then you can add the yogurt. It's not exact measurements, but it's about 5 tablespoons, I think. And again, just do it to your taste. It depends on how acidic your natural yogurt is. This is fat-free. And then some chives. Now, I was going to put it in there, but they'll all get stuck in there. So let's not do that. So it's about, I don't know, good shake. It's about a tablespoon, I reckon. And they will rehydrate in there. like so, or parsley would be good. Okay, then whop that on there. I mean, it couldn't be simpler, could it? Oh, I think I've just splashed myself, that's nice. A bit of salt and pepper, this is pepper obviously. And a nice, good bit of salt. It really does make a difference seasoning up your food correctly. So we'll just give that a little. And then I'm just going to use the spoon to stir that all together. But if I was you, get your hands stuck in, because it really then brings it all together. And just nice clean hands. And look how pretty that is. You can see all of those beautiful colours. And the thing is, when you've got a colourful salad like that, you'll want to eat it with lots of different things. So this would be great with barbecued meats, or you could have this on top of jacket potato for lunch. Delicious. There we go. How quick and easy is that?